Rates of endocytosis vary from cell type to cell type. What cell would be predicted to have the highest rate of endocytosis? Okay. Now, endocytosis is the process, it's actually an active transport process where cells are able to bring in a large number of molecules, right, through transmembrane transport into the cell. So the way that it would work, right, is you would have a membrane, okay, and let's say you have a bunch of like particles, okay, and by the way, this could be solid materials, in which case it's phagocytosis, or it could be more like solutes and liquid molecules, in which case it would be pinocytosis. Those are two different forms of endocytosis. But the way that this would work is some of these molecules would bind to like receptors, and that receptor binding to the ligand or the solute or whatever the molecule is that you're bringing in would activate this endocytosis process. And the first thing that would happen is that region of the membrane would actually start to invaginate. So it would look something like this. Okay? Like that. And so these particles that you're bringing into the cell are going to be in here bound to the receptors, okay? And then these two ends of the membrane would start getting closer together, and eventually a vesicle made up of membrane lipids would bleb off into the inside of the cell while the membrane remains intact. Okay, so you're going to have this vesicle, with these molecules, right? So that would be endocytosis, right? And this is a active transport, actually requiring energy. So we're trying to figure out which of the cells would have the highest rate of endocytosis, and we have macrophage, erythrocyte, osteoblast, and neurons. Well, erythrocytes probably not, because their main purpose is to carry oxygen in the bloodstream, okay? Osteoblasts, their main function is to produce bone. So they're actually probably going to be secreting a lot of things like collagen, which is the process of exocytosis, not bringing things into the cell, which is endocytosis. So that's wrong. And then neurons, again, neurons are neurotransmitting or releasing cells, so their primary function is actually to release neurotransmitters, which happens through exocytosis. So that's wrong. So A can be the only reasonable answer, and this makes sense because these are phagocytic cells, which actually phagocytose things through endocytosis, through bringing in like components of cells that are being broken down into the cell and then breaking them down through like proteolytic enzymes and stuff like that. And that happens through endocytosis. So A is the best answer.